What up? I'm gonna try to explain this without getting into detail because it's a sensitive subject and whatever the case is. But try to keep it as general as possible. Alright, so I was thinking about some shit about thoughts and how it works. And I was thinking, like, all of us are connected to this, like, pool of thoughts. And some people might think that it's their own thoughts, but it's really not, man. It's just like a pool. It's like a bank, and we're just constantly pulling from it, getting these ideas for whatever. It just depends on what frequency we're on and what we're thinking of, and whatever the case is. Just a lot of things have to happen for certain things to get into your head, and whether you were exposed to something or subconsciously, whatever the case is, you know. But regardless, if people have negative thoughts, like if I don't know, if like you're in a situation and you know something's wrong, you know you shouldn't do it, but yet you still have that thought of like, hey, you know, I could really get away with this right now. You know, if I stole this or did this or did that, you know what I'm saying? But it only makes it bad when you act upon it. Because what you're doing at that point is, for some reason you're connecting with negative shit, and that negative idea is coming to you, and whether you're able to channel it through and let it go and not act upon it is up to you and your willpower, depending on what it is. But when you act upon it is when you're making it physical. You know what I mean? You're taking an idea that's popped into your head, you're putting your intention to it, and you're making it physically happen. That's when it becomes bad, because then other people can see it. You know, and then people might say, well, a person who's got, you know, a person who, I don't know this to be true, because I don't know any, I've never really spoken to like a person who is deemed a child molester or child rapist or something, whatever, but I would assume that a person who is labeled a child molester has some weird fantasy, fetish, whatever, but more or less these ideas of having sex or having some type of relations with a child or underage person. Well, you got to step back and ask yourself where those thoughts are coming from. Could be trauma from the past, from childhood, from anything. But regardless, of people are getting those thoughts. Now, whether that person acts upon those thoughts is what turns that person into a child molester or serial rapist or what, you know, whatever you want to fucking label him. Whatever he does, you know, brings it to the physical. But what people don't understand, what I'm trying to get at, is that people are so quick to judge the person and who's doing it and what they did, and don't take into consideration of why they're doing it, why they're getting those thoughts, how they got those thoughts in their head, and you know, and what we can do to fix that so that they don't get those ideas and then act upon them. But we all just throw that to the wayside and fucking just automatically throw shade and hate towards these people. Like, for instance, I had this guy, I'm not going to name him obviously, but this kid I went to high school with, as far as I knew, cool kid. I never, you know, he never did anything wrong to me. You know, as far as I knew, he had a clean record. You know, he played basketball. He's a normal fucking kid, man. Growing up, doing whatever he did. Normal kid, right? I could be really wrong about this. So, I kind of want to tread lightly when I say this. But, you could tell there was some kind of genetic manipulation or maybe a defect or something like that, because of the, like, I don't know, you could just I mean, you couldn't really tell, but you could tell. If you knew some shit, you could tell. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how else to explain that. Just because of like the shape of like certain features, you could just tell. I don't. Maybe I'm wrong, but you could tell. And maybe there was some type of incest, way back in his genetic code somewhere. I don't know, which gave him this ideas of molesting or sexually assaulting a minor. And long story short, the people that went to high school with him pretty much just told him, like, look, I don't give a fuck who you are, you're a piece of shit, like, you shouldn't do that. Well, no shit, you shouldn't do that. Like, my whole thing is that if society didn't do what they do to these people publicly, by shaming them and bashing them and doing this and doing that and pretty much pushing them to suicide, then maybe these people would come out and fucking ask for help. Nobody thinks about that type of shit, And I know I'm going to catch a bunch of fucking shit for saying this shit because I sound like I'm fucking crazy. But no, man. Like, we need to help people, not fucking hurt, man. But yeah, like, I hope that makes fucking sense. It's just like, the way the society's built is that those people are bad people, and, if we catch them, we gotta fucking, ruin their lives publicly, yada, yada, yada. But yet, at the same time, these fucking elite, nasty fucking people in the political system and in Hollywood and everywhere else in the fucking, and normal people are raping and killing babies and sacrificing and all this other shit. I guess I'll just say allegedly, even though we know it's not, but allegedly. So fucking stupid. But, while they're out there doing it, but yet they're the ones that made the law saying that it's illegal. See how that works? Because they live above the law. But every one of these people that were my friends in high school that were friends with him too, all shunned me because I forgave him. And they're like, dude, you're fucking crazy. If they raped your baby, if they raped your daughter, would you be, or sexually assaulted your daughter, would you feel the same way? I don't know. Probably not. Maybe not. Because now it's a whole other story. But at the same time, I'm a different person. I'm not a confrontational person. And I don't like to fucking fight. I don't like negativity. So yeah, it might have took me a little bit longer to be comfortable with it. But yeah, I think eventually I would have been able to forgive him and give him a chance to fucking heal and figure out what's going on in his heart and what's going on in his brain to figure out, hey, this is what's wrong with me. This is what happened in the past to make me feel this way. I'm going to fix it. You know what I mean? But nobody gives the people the time of the day. And now this kid his life is ruined because all his friends in high school don't want to fucking help him or don't want to even like give him the time of the day just to hear him out. To, maybe this girl was fucking, very good looking as a 14-year-old girl and had very nice features and fucking lured him into his bed or something. I don't know. Anything could have happened. I don't know the situation. But I'm just saying that shit happens like that. And then afterwards, then they tell you, oh yeah, by the way, I'm 13. And then you're like, what the fuck? Now you're scared to death because now you know damn well if shit gets out, you're fucked. Regardless if you're a nice person or if you're a bad person. So that's all I'm saying, man. It's just like we gotta do better. We gotta fucking help people. I don't care how much of a shitty person they are. Or how much of a bad person you think they are. We should help. But I've gone way off subject. Because went from talking about thought and all that other shit to forgiving people now. Which is cool, whatever. I'm not saying that I'm off subject, but I'm on subject because I have no subject. But, yeah, I feel like all these thoughts are being pushed into us because of the negative frequencies, the technology, all that shit, man. by telling us what to eat, telling us what to drink, telling us when we should eat, what cravings we should have, what drugs we should do, all that type of shit. Like, it's fucked up. And I'm experiencing this shit too. So, can't tell me it's some bullshit. It's definitely not. Experience it every day. And it's whether you act upon it. You know what I'm saying? That's the willpower part. You gotta have willpower because you're gonna get these weird fucking ideas that, hey, that girl's really attractive. I'm gonna go fuck her. Wait a minute. That's not the right thing to do. Obviously, or hey, I'm an ex-drug addict. There's a lot of heroin over there. Well, you get what I'm saying? I'm giving you examples. Whatever, there's drugs over there, and I'm an ex-drug addict. Let's not go over, or if I go over there, more than likely you're going to do drugs. Or more than likely, if you don't go over there, you're not going to do them. You know what I mean? Like that type of shit. Like, you know what I mean? It's all on if you put yourself in that situation and put intention towards those thoughts and ideas. And whether you see past the negative shit that somebody's done, just remember that you've done some negative shit too. And then I know that you don't want somebody judging you and saying that you're a piece of shit because it'll make you feel like shit. Just remember the next time you judge somebody and tell them on the internet that they're a piece of shit or they're wrong for this or wrong for doing that, just remember that could be you in that situation, and how would it make you feel? And if it makes you feel like shit, makes you feel really upset, then maybe you shouldn't do it because it's probably making another person upset. And why would you want somebody to feel that shitty when you don't want to feel that way to begin with in the first place? We just all gotta fucking help. We really do. And I'm willing to. I told everybody before, if y'all are having problems, message me. Y'all just want to talk, message me. If you want to you got questions, message me, man. I'm on Instagram. I'm on Facebook. Ricardo Tattle on Facebook. I'm on Instagram as Cardo with an exclamation mark. I think it's what it is, but I think it's Cardo86. And then obviously I'm on YouTube. Duh, you're listening. But I'm here. Now, granted, my page isn't big, and that has nothing to do with anything, but now it's a little bit easier to talk to people because I have 1, 2, 3, maybe 5 at the most people message me and talk to me, and it's easy. It's hard to juggle that, but it's easy to juggle that because comparing to having 10,000 followers and then trying to juggle all those messages, it's impossible. And and maybe it's not impossible, but you would literally have to dedicate your whole day and night, your whole month to messaging people back every single message because when you think about it, 10,000 people, if they left one comment, that's 10,000 more comments that you got to reply back to. It's a lot, you know what I mean? So some people pick and choose what catches your eye. Some people just randomly pick whatever the case is. But right now I'm able to speak and talk and whatever. If people want to do interviews, like interview me, or they just want to do interviews, not an interview, I'm sorry, just want to talk, but record the talk. By all means, fucking message me, man. I'm so down for that because it expands people's minds, man. Listening to what you have and you listen to what I have, it expands people's minds and it allows people to understand shit more differently, in a vast more variety of ways. So, if anybody does want to message me or do a video or something like that, let me know, man. I'm so down for that shit. But hit me up. Peace.